It's Conversations with Brahm and Pirate Jim. So we're going to look at this Canada Post. I call it propaganda. So we're breaking down the bullshit again. Like I think really, from now until until we get a contract, I think everything's going to be breaking down the bullshit from what it looks like. Even the stories that I'm covering from the media and such, it's all bullshit.
A lot of it. There's a lot of it. So
yeah. Well, let's play this and we'll see what happens. And like I said, I may stop and start and we'll chat about stuff.
okay.
Oops. That's not the right window. Here we go.
At Canada Post, our delivery model just isn't built for daily fluctuations in volumes. Some routes can get overburdened. Load leveling is designed to provide a more predictable and balanced workload. Here are 3 key facts to help you understand the change. Letter carriers will continue to deliver on their route with the same start times day to day. Work will only be reassigned before letter carriers leave the depot. Additional work cannot be reassigned if a letter carrier completes their work early. Work will be reassigned using a national standardized approach that will be consulted on with the union. We will work with our bargaining agents to introduce these changes over time. Read the fact sheet and learn more at canadapost.ca/offers.
All right, make sure it doesn't keep playing. So I forgot how kind of short they are, but
Yeah.
I guess my first question is, they say they're going to, maybe I'll stop sharing the screen so that we don't have all that junk. So they say that the work's going to be assigned at the beginning of the day, right? And sometimes I'm trying to figure out how that's better. I don't understand how that's something that's a good thing. Anyway, after you've seen the whole video, what are your ideas with it?
Well, I mean, obviously it's meant to try to sugarcoat what's actually going to happen to, deep down below with all the staffing and everything. And we know that that's a major attack on people's ability to take overtime and what it's going to do by giving that work to the part-time flex and all the rest of it. But what I found interesting was that it said that because it will only be done at the beginning, that they won't assign anything after you come back. But that's very different from what they were saying before, which is to cover all their trapped time, which is the language beneath all the language, right? They did say that if you're done your work early, that they can assign you some extra work. And so there's a bit of double speak there. So it comes at a little as a little untrustworthy in terms of that information meant to sugarcoat things. So that if you're done work early, you will be assigned. My understanding is that you'd be assigned extra work, and I think what they're doing is they're saying that the only time that they'll take the work off is at the beginning of the day. But that's all to be seen. I don't trust it.
I'm trying to figure out how they're going to know. I guess they're going to follow this computer program. Is that how they're going to do it?
Well, it's definitely going to be it's a huge mess for the supervisors, for the staffers, which, again, I'm not too concerned because that's the situation that they've put in. But it's going to be something that's not going to be easily applied. And it's going to give the supervisors and the management team a whole lot of control over the way that work looks. And, as we know deep down, that means goodbye to overtime and extra work.
Yeah, for getting paid, really, because it seems like if you get assigned it at the end of the day, well, even at the beginning of the day, you're getting assigned overtime for free. And once again, my microphone likes to get lazy. So hopefully it's not making a bunch of noise. Oh, there. I have to work out to get the mic to stay in place. Anyway. What was the other thing in there that they had that map play here? How about let's watch it again. All right, load leveling. So the map is what I'm thinking about first.
At Canada Post, our delivery model just isn't built for daily fluctuations in volumes. Some routes can get overburdened. Load leveling is designed to provide a more predictable and balanced workload. Here are 3 key facts to help you understand the change. Route holder.
Okay, first off, I guess it's the next one is the dynamic routing where those the parcels on the map make a part of it. But
Well, also you
just
saw
looking
that from one person to the other there. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, exactly. And what I noticed too is you got Friday is the day that it's just like jam packed full of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So all of those parcels, was that the letter carrier's route, or was that the route with load leveling? And are the other days? Is it would anyway?
No.
It's a picture. I'm probably looking at. It's probably just a graphic that they used and created.
Right.
And I'm getting deep into the philosophy behind it. All
What
right,
city is
so.
this? Where?
Yeah, exactly. So let's back to one again.
Will continue to deliver on their route with the same start times day to day.
Okay. So, I guess the same start times that they've always had, or this 11
Well,
o'clock,
this is-
the wave thing.
I'm glad you said that because of this video in particular is about load leveling for the RSMC unit. And currently there are no start times for RSMCs based on, that's the model that they've had for years, right? They've got a mail availability time and not a start time. So this is obviously them trying to implement secretly start times.
Interesting. See, and I thought with SSD coming into my depot and already under, but I thought there was, oh geez, I keep hitting this. There's didn't they, aren't they already doing set times now?
There's the only way that would happen is if there was a Deerfoot MOA signed. I don't know if you're familiar with that Deerfoot.
That's
MOA.
mine.
And there is a model that has that. They may not call it Deerfoot; they call it something else in the other cities. But it's based on the Deerfoot model that does institute start times and I believe shared cases. I don't know. I don't want to misspeak, but there's a few things that go along with that. And that was at one point, I believe, it started in Calgary to stave off SSD, but then unfortunately it still came.
Yeah, and that's my depot. I've been now, is it 4 years that we did it? It's 4 years that I sort my mail at the end of the day, and I'm a Wave 2B. And I think I'm the only one in Canada who loves it. But I'm actually, and for me, that's the sad part, is it works for me. And now I got to do the SSD, and I haven't sorted, well, I won't have to sort mail, which I'm not that upset about not having to sort mail, because for me, that is the hardest part of the job and for my brain. But,
Right.
but you know, I'm not.
It's about the rotation of duties, right? The idea that you can split your day and you're not being put in. The worst part in terms of the threats to your body and health and safety are out there on the street with the conditions changing every day and the winters
Exactly.
and summers. So putting a person out there for 8 hours just automatically means a lot more hazard.
Exactly.
Yeah. I wish you know. Not that I have to tell you that, right?
I got a bouncy mic again. Okay. Jeez.
That's okay.
It's like my mic stand is drunk. And it's just, I'm going to stand right here. I won't go away, I promise. And then I look over and they're slumping down, falling asleep. I don't know. Maybe it's in my imagination. Anyway, yeah, well, I did have something I thought of, but I don't remember now what it was. And the screen went back to.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm clicking on the wrong buttons. I need a second screen so I can distinguish what is my screen and what is the program we're recording with. Okay. Oh, right. The hours won't change. That's what we were talking about and how I'm a Wave 2B. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
I was done my thoughts. So let's go on.
Holders' scheduled hours of work won't change. And the reassignment of work will not affect the annual volume assessment of their route. Work would be reassigned using a national, standardized approach that will consult on with the union. We will work with our bargaining agents to introduce these changes over time, after the new work measurement and hourly pay model is in place. Read the fact sheet and learn more at canadapost.ca/offers.
Okay, well, I guess there was only a couple there. Well, I guess, is there any more thoughts that you have based on all of
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, it said that it would not affect your volume assessment, and that there's some, again, specific wording that Canada Post uses that they may be sort of a bit of sleight of hand, because from my understanding from reading the offers and the rest of it is that if any PCIs, and so of course RSMCs are run a little bit differently, although we all deliver PCIs, personal contact items. The way that it's structured to be paid to RSMCs is that it's part of their pay structure. So if they lose PCIs, they lose pay. And, if these parcels, these PCIs are given to flex work or done on the weekends, and the weekend clauses already exists from the previous CBA, that they'll actually lose that number of PCIs on their yearly assessment. So
Right.
if they use like volume, that might be a different thing than their yearly assessment. But in either case, if they lose PCIs or that work goes to somebody else to be delivered, from all indications that I've read, is that the route holder will lose those PCIs and can lose a significant amount of money. And that's one of the major differences between RSMCs and letter carriers or urban.
Right.
Is that because they're not actually paid on an hourly pay, which I know there's a lot of reference to hourly wage and stuff here, but there's no proposal for an actual hourly pay. If you have a route assessment done after a year, or if you have a restructure done, your yearly pay can decrease in some cases by 10, 15, sometimes $20,000 a year, just on the whim of decisions of supervisors, et cetera. So, not to put
I
you-
see, and that's another thing. I totally thought switching to hourly pay for RSMCs was something on the table, but I there was also the whole making it one contract, which was okay and then not okay.
we should
Right?
spend another podcast talking about that.
Totally. I mean, that's the thing about all of these. There's so many, I think for me in doing this podcast is that it's gotten to the point where there's almost too much information to sort through. Whereas when I first started this, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to remember now? Like it was like Snorefest if we're looking at our history, which I think lulled us into this sense of security. Because when I think back, all these little things they're doing now, they've been creeping up little by little. And I think about a conversation I had with my superintendent when my telematics, the first day it was installed, and I started asking questions about it. And that was when, is it tracking me now or is it on? And very vague. I think maybe because he didn't really know what it was doing. But he goes, oh, well, you don't have to worry about it until 2025, the next contract. And so this was summer of 2024. I'm like, oh, yeah, and I took it in and totally bought the bullshit for a minute. Well, for a while. And went, yeah, I don't have to worry about it till 2025. Who cares? And I think that's what happens with a lot of things. It's like, oh, I'll worry about it later. Oh, I'll worry about it later. And now we're at a point where, exactly, and a lot of those people that I know that have been like that, they just want to get this over with, and they won't listen to what's going on. And it's a lot of those people that are telling me they're voting yes and won't even listen to any of it.
I find it to be and I don't want to paint everybody with the same brush here, but
No.
I find it in my travels and through having these discussions, I find it's an emotional reaction which is tied to a need to have steady pay and all the rest of it. I understand that. I feel the same way, right? Obviously, we don't want this to drag on to the point where we're going to have to go through all sorts of financial hardship, and that's it. And I understand that, but once you have discussions with people and have a bit of more of an understanding of what actually is going on, usually that transitions just a little bit. And so sometimes I find it's just that the problem or the culprit is not having had that conversation in the first place.
Yep.
Not having that understanding, of what's actually happening, because, most of that is at that level of, listen, and I think it's by design. I think most people in society are at that level, where it's like it takes a lot of effort to get out and do something.
Sorry, trying to get it ready so we can watch the next one, and then I was like, oh, don't be loud. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it just, and having that conversation, it's very awkward sometimes. It's just like when you're, organizing conversations with members it always starts off a little awkward, but you have to start with one conversation and then continue from there, and people can open their eyes to it. So I don't blame people when they have that emotional response. I feel it's worth having the conversation. Regardless, it's not about making people, think something. It's not about, coercing people to think something. It's just about getting people on the same page and same level of understanding. It seems to help the best.